Ender Lilies on the Nintendo Switch. This is a frame rate test of a game that I played already on the PlayStation 4. This is a Metroidvania with some Souls-like structure that I kind of got into when I was renting it from the Maryland Public Library System. This disc is available from the Maryland Public Library System as well. Version 1.15, worth noting, this is an offline Switch. So this was the version that was on the cartridge. Now, I don't know if this game was made available on PC. I am curious about it. Is this a limited run game? I mean, it could be a limited run game. I'm not sure exactly. But someone did publish the cartridge version of this game, and I think it might be worth seeking out if you can find it for less than like $20. I spent several hours playing it and was reasonably impressed by it. It grew on me pretty quickly. But as I said, this is a frame rate test. So we'll see how this game performs as I'll put it through its paces. I'm playing with a generic Nintendo Switch wired controller from Power A, so I don't expect that. That's not going to affect the frame rate testing that I'm doing here. Quick and dirty test I did earlier shows this game is running at 60 frames a second on a Switch, which is fantastic. I was playing mounted, and it was running at 60 frames a second. That's what you want. Yep. Just like in Dark Souls, when you go to the bonfire resting spot, all the enemies respawn. So you go here to recharge your energy, and the enemies will respawn. What are the memories for? Well, we'll worry about that later. Yeah, those are cutscenes I want to say. Let me see if I can't go to the... Well, we can't fast travel from here, but whatever. Wrong button. Let's see, what do we got? Music might be a bit too loud, so I'm going to have to crank it. Well, I'm pretty sure I cranked it down earlier, so we should be fine, right? Yeah, it's just... So it can go lower, otherwise you'd just be turning it off, so that's fine. We'll turn it down later if we have to. Right now, I guess we'll be fine. I do like the chill vibe this music gives off. Let me go to the... Sorry, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Under controller, where's the controller setup? Got a dodge roll. It's not a dodge roll to dodge, which I think is kind of hilarious because her character is not particularly athletic. If you remember Lost Kingdoms on the GameCube, your character didn't really do any direct fighting. She summoned creatures who fought for her. Excuse me, I'm not going to play in Espanol. Japonés. That's Korean. Actually, was it? We're just going to ignore that. Deutsch. Actually, how do you say Korean in Korean? So press ZR for the dodge roll, which is not a roll. It's just you doing a face plant right into the ground, which is kind of hilarious. And when you press the attack button, this knight does a 3-hit combo on your behalf. And I do like how the character kind of hides her eyes as the swordsman does the work. It's a very nice touch in a game like this. Which is, again, not about some super heroine. It's about a woman who can control spirits. So we'll bring back everyone. We already saved our game, so we'll leave. We have our map in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Like I said, it's a Metroidvania. Read. So I guess we're picking up books. We'll read that crap later. Text. I want to say I'm playing with a... I did not mean to do that. Press the L button. I guess that's for healing. Okay. And the R button is for choosing different loadouts. So it looks like they're listed on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. The game will explain more of this later. Because like I said, I played several hours of this on the PlayStation 4. We're not going to play that much here. This is just me doing a minor stress test on a game that I've already played before. But it's good to see if this game runs at 60 on a Switch. So you don't need a Switch 2 for that. And as I said in previous videos, like, this is, like, the Switch 2 might just be, like, the most cracked library of any Nintendo console ever. Like, pick your favorite Nintendo console, and their library is not as good as this one. And Ender Lilies being on this library is another bonus. It's not that every PS4 indie game wound up on Switch, but a lot of them did. And I'm glad this one's on the Switch, too. Or on the Switch, excuse me. The Switch as well, excuse me. Tried to dodge behind them, but whatever. So we'll take a little bit of damage. Worry about that later. And again, I'm playing on this J5 Create Capture device directly onto a laptop. So yeah, there's input latency from this third-party controller, I would suppose. Input latency onto the laptop through the capture device. But so far, it's perfectly fine. For the purpose of this frame rate test, I don't need a different setup. When I play the Capcom fighting games, I guess I'll plug in something with an HDMI pass-through so I can play on my TV with less input latency. Hold on, gotta get behind him. There he goes. So maybe there is a tiny bit of hitching every now and then on the frame rate. Like it might dip below. It might dip into the 40s every now and then, I suppose. I don't think it's a lock 60. So there's a little bit of choppiness under the scrolling when you do the little dive like that. At least it seems like it to me, but it's nothing major. But yeah, I'm very curious. Like this, I'm worried this game might just get stupid expensive eventually. So I'm hoping this game doesn't. I'm hoping this game is laptop friendly. Hopefully there's not too many. Hopefully there's no onerous DRM. Can't get past this. Yeah, fine. Again, love the face plant. From 3 stories up, just a total freaking face plant. Door was in the distance, so it's probably the door above me. How much you want to bet? Yeah. I thought I dodged that. Hope there's a safe spot here. Hold on, what's that? Pick up a thing. I'm collecting these amulet fragments. Ooh. Increases my max health. Does it replenish my health? Whoops. Does it replenish my health? Second. I'm playing with this wired controller. I always forget the buttons in the middle aren't where I expect them to be. So that's another issue entirely. Relics. I can't equip the relics. Switch spirits. Only one spirit is equipped. Again, they're my attackers. Lily evades with a great deal of effort. Again, it's an actual dodge roll. When HP is low, you can use the L button, which is like a potion in Dark Souls. But again, it's part of this game's vibe. You know, your heroine prays to gain her health back, and she gets scared whenever her spirit comes out to defend her. It's kind of a thing. Again, it fits the vibe of the game. Wasn't paying attention. Got really sloppy there. And I like how you can see the little red eye glow, the little red eye flare. Telegraphing its attack. Yeah, hidden stuff, huh? So the map on the top right-hand corner of the screen is just corridor, like it's room-based. So it's, well, a lot of Metroidvanias do that. Suck it. Leveled up. Too bad I didn't heal myself when I leveled up like a old school game would. Like in Simon's Quest Castlevania 2. Is there a map listed? Yeah, there is. Zoom in. I have to press the right stick to zoom in. There's a 3-stage zoom. Respites in the room next door. Okay. I have to go back. Unexplored routes are above me to the right, so we'll get around to that later. What's this? Oh. Like in Valkyrie Profile, you can go to the rear. Can't jump up there. Yeah, like Valkyrie Profile, you walk into the background, get a little, so you can investigate the rear plane. I guess what's her name here has kind of a Platina vibe from Valkyrie Profile, if I do say so myself. Her pale pallor again does a pretty good job of selling the vibe. Kind of apparition. And that red dot that's following me, that's the spirit. Okay, so that little red dot that follows me is the spirit that I summon. Okay. Again, nice little touch. I mean, yeah, this looks like a Flash game, but it has a lot of nice touches you wouldn't be able to add to a Super Nintendo or a Genesis game. So this is, I would argue this is a game that's obviously a Flash game, but it has a bit more style than, say, like, let's rest here. It has a bit more, it has a few more flourishes than you would expect from a 16-bit title. So maybe like a 32-bit game, arguably. I am very curious how people respond to this game, because no one I know has ever played it. Which is another reason why libraries exist. Of course, they probably, I mean, the library might be making legitimate efforts to try and seek out these. Did I not get healed, or did I just... Ow. Or did I just already take too much damage after going to the respite? I'm gonna have to go back. Ow! Yeah, I'm just taking hits. Taking L's left and right. So we can go back to the respite. But I did level up already, right? So will it give me credit for that? Yeah, good. So all the enemies respawn, but I get credit for all the experience I've gained. Can I see what my current experience level is? Does not say. So when I level up, how do I level up, I guess is the question. Blight. So I guess if I kill 148 Blight, I've killed 19 out of 148 Blight. It's on the left side of the screen. To the left of my eyes. So I guess if I kill 148 Blight, I'll be able to level up again. Because I've killed 19 on this level so far, I suppose. Let's find out. Okay, how's that? Good thing you can pause this. Yeah, so I got 4 Blight by defeating that enemy. Okay, so it's experience. So that's fine. I mean, they said Dark Souls is a Metroidvania. I'd rather play this than Dark Souls, if I'm being honest. Combat feels tighter. And there's no stamina system. Ow! So I did take a dumb hit there. So it might be like Castlevania Circle of the Moon or whatever on the Game Boy Advance. Like, you go to a safe spot, but you gotta like... You gotta get through the corridor to the next save spot without taking much damage. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I gotta get behind him. Good. Sort of a typical Dark Souls character. Sword board, blocking a path. No. Okay, we're good. Good. We do want to go to the background, do we not? Ah! Thought I dodged it. Got really slow there on the dodge. A pretty good arc on this attack, too, so... attack people above me. So that's how you get to the background. But in the meantime, we'll go this way. Yes, that door was open, and I guess that door was to the background. That gate we opened a while ago. Ow. So I think we're hewing pretty close to 60 FPS during this video, so I'm not gonna complain about that. We aren't putting it through any serious tests, just sort of a, hey, how does 60 FPS look on a mounted Switch? And I guess we're doing okay in that sense. Oh, yeah, this is stupid. The microphone. The capture device has a bit of buzzing, so on my microphone anyway, I can hear it. So I have to plug in an extra USB cable into the capture device, and then keep it underneath, and then put my foot on it so that it gets rid of the buzzing. And I don't know why that works. It's like having it touch another metal object doesn't do anything, but putting it under my foot does. It's weird. See, like, the buzzing now, and the buzzing goes away when I put my foot down. So I don't know what's going on with that. I guess it has to touch my skin. Huh. Was this here the whole time? Okay, so I shouldn't have backtracked. This was here the whole time. So we saved. So all the enemies respawn, but I don't care. And at the top left-hand corner of the screen, that blight meter is almost full, isn't it? Yeah. So, get about 150, with about 53 more experience points, and we're good. I don't want to go back and grind up one more level yet, but I did save my game before this boss. Thick with the Rod of Blight. Like that Captain Planet villainous. Destroy! Destroy! Uh-oh. Looks like Bridget from Guilty Gear is about to go off. Ow! So we're doing the whole Nier Automata thing, right? Where it's like, kill me! You know, I'm a sympathetic villain, you know. Almost dead. Ah! Had a chance. Yeah, so I can't dive and attack. Ow, 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 wow. That looked like it hurt. Yeah, that looked like it hurt. That took off a third of my health. Bastard. Oh, well. So I have to do the whole fight again, don't I? So yeah, this is a decent test. For this little frame rate test. Can we skip this? Probably can't skip this. Yeah, we'll skip this. Okay, fine. I said skip. Wrong button. Excuse me. So when I dive, I can't attack till I recover. Whoops. Ah! Ow! That's not good. Better than nothing. Just stood there trying to heal myself. Could have gotten sliced. When you do an aerial attack, you freeze in midair, so you don't, you can't move. So that freezes you in midair when you do the aerial attack. Ah, careful. All right, let's go one more time. Ah! Backhand swipe. Ah, careful. That looked like could have been a problem too. Heal. That's my last heal. Let's go. Dot. Wow, that was bad aim. Got me with that backhand. But Dead first. Level up on that. I wasn't aware of that part of the lore, but whatever. Well, I got a better protector now, so bye. Well, not so much anymore. I wasn't paying attention to the story earlier, so it was probably just backstory anyway. So if I can get my hands on this game before Christmas, I'll probably end up playing it then. Or before Halloween, I'll probably end up playing it then too. I got the Castlevania Advance Collection on sale last week. It was like a $10 collection, so I'll be playing more of those games. I played Circle of the Moon when it launched. The last console I ever purchased when it launched was the Game Boy Advance. Didn't like the screen, obviously. I spent like maybe like $20 or so on one of those afterburner light things, so I can get a decent, glow on the screen. It was like a tiny lamp to attach to the Game Boy Advance. You can actually see that terrible screen. Yeah, that was. I mean, people complain about the Switch 2 screen. This was a terrible screen. You could barely imagine playing a Castlevania game and barely being able to see what's on screen. So that didn't help. That didn't help the game's difficulty, which was apparently pretty notorious. It was way harder than Symphony of the Night, obviously. So there is that. Yeah, something never-ending bloodshed. Okay, so we can save here, do a little bit more exploring, then come back later. But again, this was a frame rate test to see if we can get 60 FPS footage out of this Switch, because it looks like we can. The PlayStation 4 footage I put together was 30 frames a second. So there's something to be said for that here. I mean, anytime I play a game on another console, I always try to do a frame rate test on the Switch version just to kind of see how it performs. Hold on. Purification. So we can go back here and do the respite. I mean, the enemy's not gonna. I mean, she's not gonna come back. She's a boss. Bosses don't respawn during the respite, do they? We'll find out in a second. Possess, so I can re-equip. Okay. Refight any pure. Okay, so you can refight the boss battle here. Okay. Sure. So what's this one do? Swings an iron ball, but it only has 13 uses and it has a 4-second cooldown. Okay. And you have 2 sets. You have 2 loadouts. So that's adorable. Stagnant Blight. So I haven't found the residue yet. But yeah, so I played this game for about 3 or 4 hours, I want to say, on the PlayStation 4, and I put up at least a couple of videos already. So what I'll be able to do is keep those there, sort of as part of a research stream. And this will be my Switch 2 frame rate test, so I can get some 60 FPS footage out of that content. So that's fine. For people who want to see how a game performs on a Switch. But again, obviously I can't capture PS4 stuff at 60 frames a second internally. I have to use an external capture device, which for me usually means busting out the HDMI pass-through capture devices that I use. Which isn't bad, it's just it's harder for me to record the sound. So I would use something like this to play some PlayStation 4 game at 60 frames a second and get the music in it. Normally it's not necessary, but if it's a game that requires like a high degree of precision, I try to play that without, using... I don't want to play it through something like this. This capture device, playing it on a laptop, the input latency might not be worth it. If I'm playing a new game. But I guess if I want to really challenge myself, I could try that. Because remember, I grew up playing games at 30 frames a second on the Super Nintendo. Well, a lot of games, not every game, but a lot of games were 60 frames a second back then. But there were a few, like the Ninja Turtles game was 30 FPS. With all the floaty jumps. I mean, obviously, if you survived the late 90s when everything was 3D, you survived a whole bunch of, sub 30 FPS games. Yeah, on Twitter, the correct observation was, Oracle of Time is considered one of the greatest video games of all time, and it was regularly in the teens in terms of the frame rate. Grand Theft Auto 3, one of the most popular video games ever made, consistently in the 20s in terms of frame rate. Nowadays, people will literally bust a gut if GTA 6 isn't at least a locked 30. So I would usually play this part of the game with a D-pad. I'm sure the D-pad for this thing isn't amazing. There's someone on Twitter, X, was stating that the Switch 2 Pro controller is the best controller Nintendo's made because apparently it uses a better D-pad, like a better D-pad than any. Whoops, wrong button. A better D-pad than any Pro controller. Did it have a better D-pad than any Pro controller? But he cracked one open and said, yeah, the quality of the D-pad was better than any other controller Nintendo released. Which might be saying something. But it's also a Pro controller. You're spending like $90 on that crap. Disappointing. What are you gonna do? You could just play with this. You could just play with the Joy-Cons, honestly. Yeah, again, I did not see any Switch 2s in the wild last when it debuted, but yesterday I was visiting a neighboring county and there were some. Ow, that was really bad. I was visiting a neighboring county and they had some empty boxes. They had like 6 or 7 empty Switch 2 boxes, so they might be in stock again, or they were holding off and they just needed to restock. So it's entirely possible that the Switch 2s are back in stock. And that's going to help, obviously, because the obvious problems that the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series consoles had, well, the Series X specifically, was that they were constantly out of stock during the pandemic. Although I think the Xbox Series X at first was more available. Maybe because fewer people were buying them, but they seem to be more available than the PS5s ever were. But then I think at one point Sony was saying in 2020 that we have to keep producing PS4s. Yeah, that was a terrible dodge. So they had to keep producing PS4s because they couldn't get the supplies out for the PS5 soon enough. Like they hit a delay. Of course, I never saw any PS4, so maybe that was only an issue like overseas. But I know here in America, I was never trying to get a PS5, but like for a few months, you couldn't find one unless you got one early. But if you were patient, well, I want to say they're almost everywhere now. Both the digital versions, the Pro versions, and of course the regular version that I would end up getting. Those are back in stock apparently, just in time too, because for the State of Play, was it the Days of Play thing, they were on sale for like $450, I think. Because they were normally, their suggested retail price is like $500 American dollars. And I think they put them on sale, which is good, but not great, because again, if you want a used one, ow, this D-pad might not be so great. This D-pad might not be so great. Yeah, I think I'm better off playing with the stick. If I'm being honest. Yeah, let's play with the stick instead. Felt a bit of stickiness to the D-pad there I was not a fan of. Which you would not want in a 2D game. That's why we have the double jump now. So we can actually go back to where we were and finish exploring to end the video. So we'll do that. I took so many dumb hits. So I have to keep going. So I could just press this button. Yeah, I could just go back to the respite and do it that way, instead of having to backtrack constantly. So that might be the better way to do it. But I do want to keep going to the left because there's a couple of areas I want to explore over there before I end this video. Yeah, they're over here to the left. Yeah, those red dots, I should be able to reach most of those now. So we'll find out in a second. Yeah, this music is the vibe. You know, it's falling rain, piano, and choral in a choral arrangement. It's about what you'd expect, actually. It's that vibe. And I turned up the ambient music a little, so I turned up the ambient sound effects, so it gives it a similar vibe. It gives you that chill vibe you might want. Slightly increases maximum HP. Sounds amazing. So what is it now? What was it before? Oh, am I not wearing it? Maybe is the problem. I wasn't wearing it earlier. That was the problem. But I can't use these yet, right? Yeah, I have not unlocked the ability to equip these yet. Yeah, I'm also not at the respite, so there you go. So let's do that. Return to the respite, then we can save. Wait, I probably didn't save properly. Keep forgetting the A button is on the right, now on the left, so it's like a Super Nintendo. So I should have. So it should be right here. So I can't equip it now either. So I can't equip it now. So I guess I've not unlocked the ability to equip this crap. I'm at a respite. Just a second. Yeah, I'm right here. Oh, that's right. I actually have to go here and... Okay, there we go. So now I can equip it. That's probably what it was doing earlier. So I have to rest here and then rummage through my crap here on the bench. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's what they were talking about. So now I can equip it. Okay. Slightly increases maximum HP. How's it look? 5 HP. Amazing. Wasn't there another one of these that I picked up? No one. So we'll keep exploring the first area and then we'll end the video. But yeah, frame rate test completed. I think this game does fine. Like, it's not like it's obviously not unplayable. So that's what really matters. That was the real point of this frame rate test, is to kind of say, okay, if I just put away the frame rate measuring tools and just get a whole bunch of footage, get through a boss fight, just kind of see how responsive the game is on this mounted Switch and this crappy controller. So we'll go to the foreground. Is there something else I forgot to explore up here? Oh, there's probably an area above me that I can't get to yet, because that little red dot still appears on the map. Yeah, so it might be something above me that I can't get to. It might be like a one-way. So there's no quick button to, like, look at the map. Yeah, press the right stick to look at the map. Okay. So there is an unexplored area here that I can't get to. Alright. Put that away. Bye. 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 So we'll worry about those guys later. So we're just here to explore. So we have to go a couple more rooms. Which way do we go? Up here? Turn around. Yeah, up here. We have a double jump now, so that's why we're exploring all this crap. We're not dead. So we have to go all the way to the left, it looks like. Ah, stupid. We'll just see how it... do we have fast travel ability? I don't know if we can fast travel between all the respites, but we'll find out when we get to another one. Yeah, can I fast travel here? No. That has to be unlocked. Or there might be... I forget. I haven't played this game in a year or so. So I want to say... fast travel would be unlocked between separate points. I don't know if you can fast travel between respites, but you can fast travel between other fast travel points, I want to say. And I forget if Bloodstained A Ritual of the Night did the same thing. So we have to go up 2 more floors. How do I switch? There we go. Press the X button for one of my consumable... Okay. So that's what that is. Didn't do that much damage, though. There we go. So you can do that while in midair, too. So that's cool. But it's also on a cooldown and it's consumable, so... Ow! That was just stupid. Do we have to go into the background to get to the next area? Bye. Bye. You might have to go to the background to get to the next area. Yeah, right over there. Where are we going? Over here? These guys go down in one swing. So where are the unexplored parts of these first 2 rooms, I wonder? There's a bit of judder going on here. Oh! It's like the morph ball in Metroid. Locked. Came all the way out here for nothing. But there's something in the room to my right, so let's see what's going on there. So just like in so if you're looking for the morph ball in Metroid, you gotta go to the left at the beginning of the game. You know how it is. A true Metroidvania, am I right? So there's something above here. Or there might be something up there at the very top that I can't get to. Okay, that would not be out of the question. So there's no reason for me to be here then. Because I can't explore any higher. I can't fly yet. I tend to believe. Okay, so what are my options? Turn to the respite. So again, I found some of those like items I could read, whatever. So what room are we in? Yes, we're gonna go to the next area and then go to that respite and do our normal stuff. So there was no reason for me to come in this direction. Probably should have saved my game, but whatever. So we'll make this part of the frame rate test. So I recorded this with my Nintendo Switch Turtle Beach Recon headset. Got it on discount. Wait, forgot to... Yeah, I've got to press the R button to switch to my second loadout where the chain whip is. So I can't change that from here, can I? No, I can only do it at a respite. Okay, fine. So I can't switch my loadout from here. So I'm capturing with an audio splitter with the pink and green cable plugged into the J5 Create capture device, which is being captured directly onto this Windows 10 education laptop with the Windows 10 camera app, capturing this footage at 60 frames a second, which is the only option available using this with this capture card, if I'm being honest. And again, this is a mounted Switch. Now I'm playing with a generic wired controller from Power A, like a $5 controller I got from Best Buy, which is not ideal, but it might add some more input latency. And like I said, the D-pad sucks. But I would rather not play a game like this on a... It's also a full-size controller, so it works in that sense. So it works better than the 8... I mean, the 8-bit Do controller, I would argue, is more precise. At least it feels more precise, but this is a full-size controller, so if you're playing something dumb like Warframe, you're probably fine with a controller like this. So I guess it gets to save some wear and tear on the 8-bit Do controller. Just Super NES controller, if you will. Ow! Taking dumb hits left and right. Ow! Dumb hits left and right. But that's right, I already picked up whatever was down here, so that was a waste of time. No, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to go to the background, right? But it's not here. It's above me. Yeah, there's a bit of judder on the scrolling here because of the capture device, I bet. So how do I go up? Up here, I guess. Bye. Well, secret area is here, I guess. Yeah, let's take the top path. At least I hope I'm going the right way. I think I'm going the right way. Yeah, I think I'm going the right way. Okay, I've already been here. So we made the whole loop and didn't go anywhere I needed to go. Actually, this is a slightly different area. Yeah, slightly different area. So I went the wrong way. So I had to go up. I had to go to the background. So I'm curious. So I just walked right past it. I wasn't paying attention, so I apologize for that. It's a cool touch. You can see both spirits trailing me. Yeah, so that's kind of a nice touch. So where's the door that goes to the background? Not over here. There, I guess. Bye. Whoops, wrong way. Ah! Darn, I have to go all the way back around. Just like in Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, huh? Because I just got screwed. Just have to get rid of that guy, then make the leap. Never says it was a speed run. Again, this game grew on me. More in ways that Hollow Knight did not. So there's something to be said about that, I think. I don't know why Hollow Knight blew up the way I did. I guess people got their hands on a DRM-free copy. But I think the game is DRM-free, so I think it got yaw-hard and yo-ho-hoed throughout the internet. So a bunch of gamers with, like, laptops and low-spec PCs got a chance to play it. Like, it traveled well. There it is. Okay, there it is. I have the double jump now, so I should not have freaked out earlier. So when you jump, you can do that X button attack with Bridget from Guilty Gear, I guess. Nope. Now we're good. Yeah, there we go. So I guess we could save the loadout here. Actually, I didn't save. I should probably save here. We're also going to go back to the second area before we save. So let me check on something. Relics. I equipped that one to extend my health bar. I only got one relic. That also recharged all my consumables for Sigrid. Sigrid. It's a sub skill. I don't know what aquatic means. 4.5 second cooldown. Sub skills have a cooldown and a limited number of uses, but can be used in conjunction. Yeah, sure. They're like weapons or Pokemon that you summon, or like I said earlier, like Lost Kingdoms on the GameCube. A game I'm not gonna buy. I think it's like in the $70, $80 range. It seemed interesting when I played it, but I used to own it. I spent like 15, 20 bucks on it at Hollywood Video. But I sold it. I sold my GameCube games a long time ago to get a Xbox 360, I want to say. No, we're good. So here's a question. So if I have 13 uses on this loadout, I switch. Okay, so it's the same. Okay, so yeah, 2 loadouts, but the number of uses is consistent between each loadout, so that's fine. So if you have the same spirit on 2 loadouts, it's still, the number of uses is consistent until you save. Alright. So we'll get to the next area and then the video. Yeah. I'd say the game, I played the game for an hour. I'd say the game's perfectly playable. Mounted on a Switch. Perfectly playable. Maybe the PlayStation 4 version runs at 1080p. But I'm playing on a Switch at 720p mounted, and I'm fine with that. Which is probably a perfectly reasonable way to play this game, if I'm being honest. So can I crank up the music? I probably can't. Well, there is a way to crank it up. But sure, I'll let the music play us out. That sounds like a good idea. Y'all deserve some good music. So it's music to fall asleep to. Because I don't remember where it is. Fine. I'm at a respite. I'm just not saving here. I keep hitting the wrong button again.